Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now, as you know, if any of you guys follow Planet Minecraft, especially the building part, the skyscraper solo contest has just come to an end, and I have a pretty cool build to show you guys and some other news other than that. So within the 4 weeks between the last video that I posted and the video that I'm posting today, basically I decided to join a PMC build contest. Now these things happen pretty often. I believe, whenever somebody has an idea, it just pops up on PMC. You'll see it. It's usually on the front page for the projects part for building. Now, I always wanted to join one of these. I've been really wanting to join a PMC build contest for a while. It does come with a few perks, and every time I do, and I get ready, I just don't have time to do it. Now, the last contest was pretty huge. They were partnered up with MC BuildCon. Really wanted to join that. I was on vacation for half of it, and I was working on it during vacation, but it was just way too much work. That project's actually on Builder's Refuge, the server I'm on right now, and I might show you guys in the future. Definitely going to complete it. But back on to what we're going to see today. Yeah, so the build competition, the entry and the concept was skyscraper. It was a very open concept. Didn't really matter what you did as long as it was basically, resembled a skyscraper. As long as you didn't toil with the words to make something different, that was basically the rules. But yeah, I decided to join this. Now, I really wanted to record it, but unfortunately, literally right after my last video that I posted, I got very, very sick, and I really could not record. I tried recording once or twice. I was going to try to, sort of document my entire building process, but, that didn't happen, and I'm here right now with a complete build, so let's get right into it. Alright, so here it is, my competition entry for the PMC Skyscraper build contest. Now, first thing I'm gonna say to get off my back, and just to give you guys the good news, is that yes, this is the #1 winning place, first place winner for the competition. So I'd like to thank PMC for that. But now that's over with. You can actually check it out on PMC. I will link that down below. Second thing is, you could get the download for this. I actually had to. It was mandatory if you wanted to become a finalist to post your download. So if you really want this, you could download it. Download's available. I'll actually link the direct link down in the description. So if you really want the download to this map, check out the pretty cool build. Then I'll link that down below. Now, third thing is, I am going to actually review the other entries. Now, there were 118 entries and 50 finalists. Gonna check out the finalists because anything that didn't become a finalist was basically trash. Even some of the finalists, in my opinion, were kind of trash. But I will check out some of the finalists. I thought they were really, really cool builds and entries that I was going up against, and it did put me in a bit of fear. So, they did their job, and I really thought some of them was gonna get at least for finalist or first place, second place. But I'm gonna check out some of those entries and I'm gonna review them. Now that SBC is kind of dead to me, I'm gonna have to find some other media to sort of review for my showcase series. But yeah, this is my skyscraper entry, and oh, that's another thing. #4. The biggest salt that I'm getting out there with this project is basically that this isn't a skyscraper. A lot of people are telling me that. I'm getting a lot of people telling me that, oh yeah, Meef, this isn't a skyscraper. A skyscraper is something you see in the city. Well, basically, if when I first entered this competition back 4 weeks ago, I knew what I was getting into, and I knew that they're not looking for, the skyscrapers are good, but they're not really looking for you to build the Empire State Building. It's an open concept, and based off of what I read in the criteria, it's basically taking the concept of a skyscraper and bending it to whatever you view, and as so long as it's still a structure that resembles a skyscraper. And I believe that this concept is pretty cool. So yeah, the name of this project is called Heaven's Fleet, and it does resemble Oriental architecture. Now, the thing is, I've never tried Oriental architecture before this one, so this is not probably going to be my best example. My biggest struggle for this project was probably these, I'm not really sure what you call them, these extensions here, but those were trouble. I really did not know how to implement them, but they are a pretty integral part of the the architecture style. So yeah, I did have a bit of trouble trying to replicate some of this. All my architecture styles are usually in the West, Gothic, Baroque, Victorian, everything like that. But yeah, I did decide to take it to the East and make something pretty cool out of it. But expect something a little different next time I make something oriental. But yeah, we're gonna get into the stats of this build, everything, you know, the specs and stuff like that. So yeah, this project, name is Heaven's Fleet. It does reach height limit. You know, one thing I did make clear, that I did want to make clear when building something that resembled a skyscraper, is that to use the entire Y length of the game, aka from, you know, ground limit to height limit. Now, one thing is, and you know, Merwin agreed with me, we should probably start, you know, revising height limit. I don't know, I feel like 256 blocks doesn't really, you know, it's a bit too short. I don't know. I have hit into height limit with other projects, you know, including like London, well, Big Ben. You know, those projects, I really feel like we should, you know, at least bump it up to maybe 300. That's what that's just, you know, what I'm asking for the bare minimum. Though more is better, but there's probably a reason why we can't upgrade our height limit. But it makes do. But yeah, it probably doesn't look like it's height limit because of how big it is, but it is height limit, so trust me. Actually, I'll just go up there and show you guys. So yeah, height limit right there. Now, when building this, I really didn't have like a big plan. My big plan was literally just to, you know, build from the ground up and just kind of level it out and see how, you know, convenient. It was really inconvenient at sometimes, but down here about, just gonna fly down. I mean, I am getting a bit of lag, but down here, you know, connecting this with this entire bridge, that was an idea that it took me a while to, you know, try to get. But I will show you guys some screenshots of, you know, how I basically did it. I'm going here and check out a little bit of this. Now, this doesn't have an interior, but, you know, if you download this and, you know, fly around, it's still pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, you got this tree here, got this garden and everything like that. Really try to implement the vegetation. I think that with a build like this, you know, putting a bunch of vegetation, regardless, you know, even though it's the same tree like half the time, I still think it makes a really nice contrast with the project and just adds a little more flair. But yeah, a lot of cool structures. It's basically just structures on structures with this project. But yeah, 256 blocks in height about. No, it's probably like 253. The water goes down a few, but yeah, the bottom of the boat is about a block. I think it's even touching the ground. So yeah, another thing. So I actually, this is not really complete because I was actually thinking of putting a, you know, a bunch of landscape around, like a bunch of cool sort of like Chinese sort of landscape. You get these like big steeping hills and stuff like that. That didn't happen. I was running really short on time. I was about 3 days. Well, I was actually planning on adding interior actually because the project said, the competition rules said that if you did add interior, it could have helped out. Obviously I didn't need it, I guess, but still would have been pretty cool to add interior. But this is a pretty big project, so that would have taken a while. Yeah, so I completed this about 3 days before the competition ended, around the beginning of September. And then it took about 2.5 weeks to review and finish everything up and judge everything. But everything turned out right. Now, scoring. We'll go over the scoring. It's probably one of the last things I'll go over this video. I really don't want it to be that long. But yeah, there were 3 things that you're going to be scored on. One of them was concept and originality. Another one was technique and execution. And another one was presentation, I believe, or something like that. Now, the one thing that got me ahead of everybody else, now another thing is, like, number 2 actually got a higher score than me in one part of the judging. I believe they had a better concept of originality and technique and stuff like that. But I took the cake when it came to technique and execution. Yeah, number 2 got a score of about 64 out of 70 for originality and concept. Now, I'm actually going to go over his project. His project is really cool. It's like this Golden Gate sort of apocalyptic dystopian build, and I think it was a really neat concept, so he definitely deserved the score that he got. But what really boosted me in front of everybody, I didn't really win by that large of a margin, but I did win. The one concept that I got, is the one part of the judging that I got was, I believe it was technique and execution, and I really hope I did. You know, I was really hoping I'd get a really high score for that because I really meticulously thought out all the details for this build, you know, everything down to these details here. You know, I'm definitely not making a render build for this. I knew they were actually gonna check this out in game, so kudos to that. But yeah, there's a lot of really minute details. I'm really trying to fly around to show you guys, get you guys the best effect. This is a dark area. This probably the dark area of the build. Can't see much there. But yeah, I did try to add a lot of minute details that you probably couldn't see if you're just looking at it. But yeah, I got a score of about 61 for technique execution, and I also got 60 for, I believe, concept and originality, and 61 for the last one, which I believe is execution or presentation, whatever you call it. I did add a really cool text lore for that, so if you want to check out more of the detail of the build, everything like that, there are two places you can find it: my portfolio and the post, which has, you know, that really cool text. That took me like all night. It took me like, I was on Photoshop like literally all night before the competition was about to end. I submitted this around 10 a.m. when the competition was gonna 12, so like, you know, it was a last minute project, but I think it did turn out well. But I believe that is, you know, all I'm going to talk about. There's really nothing else to see other than, you know, going down here. Check out this rudder. That's basically it. Yeah, another challenge before I finish this video, go off on another tangent, is I didn't really know how Chinese architecture or Oriental architecture fits. Like, Victorian and Baroque Gothic, you kind of just build off of, you know, whatever you have. But when it comes to Oriental, I was like looking up on Pinterest and DeviantArt and everything like that to see how the architecture flows, and it really doesn't flow that well. And you know, it's a lot of boxy sort of architecture and a lot of octagonal round stuff. You know, when it comes to like stuff like Gothic, there's a little more flexibility in my opinion. But yeah, it was just boxes on boxes. That's all I could find online. So I had to work with what I had. But yeah, so yeah, this is basically the project. Not really much else to see. If you really want to check this out yourself, then I really recommend that you download it yourself. I'll give a direct download link in the description. But other than that, you know, that's basically it. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. It's a bit of a long video, and it's just basically me talking and flying around. But I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, then you should check out all the links in the description. You know, it just has the details on all the builds. Be sure to also stay tuned. I'm definitely going to not get sick for the next 4 weeks. Definitely going to post some cool stuff. I am actually joining a survival sort of series with another bunch of YouTubers in this community. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming real soon. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.